I've heard this as rumors. If anyone's done it, can you please comment down below because I'm so intrigued. You guys, Chicago's birthday is coming back. Well, it's not really Chicago's birthday, but it might as well be because it is one of the biggest things to happen in Chicago and I am so excited for it. It is Lollapalooza. If you asked me the first year of me going to Lollapalooza if I liked it, I would have said no. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate it. In fact, I actually made a video about how Lollapalooza ruined my life. I was being dramatic. I've unlisted said video because I feel like it's just not accurate. And I actually really love Lollapalooza now. It just took me a little while to understand it and figure out how to be my personal festy bestie and have a good time. If you haven't seen it, they have already put up the lineup for Lollapalooza. It is a good one this year. Let's just touch on a few that I'm really excited for. Also, let me be the first to say my taste of music is absolute road pizza. My most played on Spotify is summer hits of the 2000s, and I'm not proud of that. But I'm also just not a music girly who's good at getting outside of my comfort zone. Anyways, I can't wait to hear Billie Eilish because I am basic as hell and I think she's amazing. Carly Rae Jepsen, do you know how hard I would jam to Call Me Maybe? Too hard. Big Wild. Big fan. Odessa, never seen them. That'd be incredible. Maggie Rogers, love. Sunday is Red Hot Chili Peppers and Lana Del Rey headlining, and I know they're gonna be at the exact same time, and I know I'm going to have to pick one or the other, and I literally don't know. Here's the lineup. It's great. If you didn't know, basic Lollapalooza facts, it takes place in Grant Park. It takes up the entire park. It is 1 mile from end to end. This is really important to note because your big headliners are going to be on the different ends. And if you think that you can go and see them both and trek from one end of the mile to the other and see both sets, you are wrong, and you are going to spend more time running in between the two of them than you are going to be at the actual stages. It is also so deeply exhausting because it is so big. Lollapalooza is a marathon. It is not a sprint. It is such a big area and you are walking so much between all the stages and it is so unbearably hot. Not always, but it absolutely can be. Just go at a slow pace. I am doing 4 days this year, but I'm going to be going for just a little bit of time each of the 4 days, really chill. I'll eat some fried chicken sandwiches because that's my favorite food that they have there. Anyways, that being said, I am not the end all be all when it comes to your festival knowledge, but I sent it out to the Hive. The Hive being all of you wonderful people who follow me on Instagram and know far more than I do. And I asked for your best Lollapalooza tips, and that is what I'm going to share here. All right, starting off, this one says Lollapalooza Reddit page has good tips. True. Hydration pack, travel tissues for toilet paper. True. Make sure you drink water. People pass out. It is so unfortunately common because you're walking so far and it is really hot out. It's the end of summer. It's hot. So you're going to want to make sure that you drink as much water as possible. Those hydration backpacks are incredible. They do have water stations all over the place, but the downfall with the water stations is they're not handing out water bottles. I don't think they have cups. Maybe they have the triangular paper cones, but that's not going to be enough to keep you hydrated. So when you have one of those hydration backpacks, you can fill that thing up and just be sucking on your little straw tube the whole way through, and it will keep you really hydrated the entire way. I highly recommend that. They do also sell the liquid death cans of water and stuff, so those are great to have, but I might buy one of those hydration backpacks this year. They're handy. Oh, and her second point, the travel tissues for toilet paper, incredible, genius. The porta potties are not great. The lines are typically pretty long, but I will say there's enough of them that the lines seem to move decently fast, but they're disgusting. It's a porta potty. It's hot out. It's August. Bring your little pack of travel toilet paper. I always do a fanny pack. That I think has been the easiest thing ever. And just put your little tissues in there because it's gross. You just don't want to touch anything. And then the fanny pack is really nice. I'll have in there my phone, keys, tissues. Last time I did a bunch of peanut butter pretzels. Chapstick, I think that's probably it. I don't carry a lot of things. I wear it as a crossbody and then I can just be in the porta potty touching nothing, unzip, tissue, bing, bang, boom, ready to go. Okay, this next person put how to not be a dumbass on public transportation and also to not forget sunscreen. This is true. Lollapalooza just brings in so many people. Downtown just gets to be so crowded. Be polite to people around you. There are people who are still just going to work and living their lives because people do live in downtown Chicago and are not going to Lollapalooza. Don't get so drunk that you pee in random public places that might annoy someone else. I have seen people get arrested for it before. Be aware of your surroundings. I don't need to preach at you any more than that. Sunscreen, super important. I can't stress this enough. Not every year has it been ridiculously hot, but some of the years it has been so hot, melting, insane. Bring sunscreen. Bring a bandana to cover your face if you can, or a hat. Bring something to protect you because it can be a absolutely roasty toaster. I typically typically when planning my Lollapalooza outfits, go purely for comfort over everything. So I'll pop a couple of pictures up on the screen, but big t-shirts and spandex shorts, perfect. 2-piece sets of like cotton shorts and like a cotton crop top, perfect, because it's so freaking hot. You do not want to be in anything that is going to make you feel even hotter. Last year I did like a shorts and button-up set with bathing suit top underneath. I will say that material of that top was like polyester. I don't know. It was something really cheap. And it was like wearing a sweatsuit. I was so sweaty underneath it. It did not breathe at all. That was a horrible one. 0 out of 10. The other ones get 5 stars. All of the other outfits were very comfortable and really good. This person said, the booths are really cool. You can get free swag, register to vote, and sign up for Be The Match. Please take a look at those. Be The Match is one that I personally really love and support. If you are unaware, is something where you can be a donor for stem cells or bone marrow, and you can save someone's life, literally. I've done it myself, and I actually got matched with someone and did a stem cell donation for someone who had leukemia. So far, I get very limited information, but they're still alive. And so that's insane and awesome and so impactful. They have really cool booths. Definitely check them out. You can get pop sockets and chapstick and all sorts of stuff, but you can also make a difference and change someone's life and sign up for Be The Match. Do it. This one says, wear boots. Some stages become mud pits and it's a lot of walking. None of the years that I've ever gone has it gotten muddy just because it's been so hot. But if it was to rain around the time of Lollapalooza, this is absolutely true. Even if it's not boots, just make sure that you're wearing something that's comfortable that you really don't mind trashing. Like my go-to is my like gross old dirty Air Force Ones, because if it's not muddy, it's gonna be so dusty, and it is an absolutely overwhelming amount of people. If you're someone who's even like questionably squeamish around crowds, I am not someone like that, and it can make me feel uncomfortable. But yeah, you're gonna want shoes that are just trash shoes that are very, very comfortable, because it is so much walking. One more note on the crowds. It is so crowded. Like, I really wanna stress that. Go with a group, with people where you can focus in on your group instead of the crowd around you. So I've gone in groups of 2, 4, 6, and then also met up with a bunch of friends where we've been like a group of like 20. And when you have all of your people around you, you're just focused on listening to the music with all of your friends. And that is really, really fun. But when you're in like a group of 2 or 3, I feel like you feel really small in this giant population of people. And that's when like, I'm not having a good time. That makes me feel really overwhelmed. I like to be with my people. You'll also not catch me up in the front, up against the fences. I like to be in the back where I can dance and breathe a little bit, but like to each their own on that one. That's just my elderly advice for you. Next one, again, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Goes for every festival, not just that one though. Cannot stress it enough. Throw a liquid IV in your freaking hydration pack. I don't care. Just drink water. Alcohol does not count. This one, bring a hat, bring a reusable water bottle, fanny pack or small bag, and comfy shoes. Here it is. That's your checklist. Those are the things you need to bring. You need nothing else. You do not need, I don't even know what are other things, but you don't need them. This is what you need. Bring these things. Okay, this is a really good one. The T-Mobile tent is so underutilized sometimes. It's basically free VIP. This is so true. It is a great area. It's also one of the only areas where a lot of times you can get cell signal. The T-Mobile tent does have Wi-Fi, and their Wi-Fi is always kicking. It's also like right off of one of the main stages, so you can usually get a really good view. I'm pretty sure they have AC. If they don't have AC, they do have a lot of fans going. It always seems a lot cooler in there, but there's seating and stuff where there's not a ton of seating at Lollapalooza. A lot of people just sit in the grass, but highly recommend that. It's a great area to just kind of go and chill out for a little bit. This next one says, have a meetup point if you lose someone, and know all exits for emergencies. So important. Knowing your exits is really great. Also, even just for outside of emergencies, for knowing where to exit at the end of the night when you're in the middle of the park is really nice, because it can take a while to get out of there. So knowing what's going to be your best like route out to be able to go home is going to be really good. And meetup points are great. I really have loved having that in the past. We'll have like a certain spot at the fountain or something like that where we'll be like, we're going to meet here at 5:30, because you will want to venture off and you're not going to watch every single music artist with all of your friends, but having those spots makes it way easier. Also, something that I've found to make things easier is have something really specific, because if you say, meet me at the T-Mobile stage for Lana Del Rey, there's going to be thousands of people there. It's so hard to find your friends. So be like, meet me underneath this specific balloon at the T-Mobile stage for Lana Del Rey, and then you can just be like right there. If you fail on that, my recommendation would be to take a picture of wherever you are, something really specific to be able to send to your friends. Don't take it of people around you, because people move. Like something like one of the camera stands or the balloons or some art piece, whatever, and take a picture of that and say, meet me here, and then stay there. Stay there. It is so hard to find people. And once you have your crew, try to not let go of them, because it's just, there's so many people. It's an ocean. A sea. This comment just says, don't drive. Drinking and driving is not okay. Just unsubscribe. Go ahead and leave. We do not condone that. Get out of here. Max sent in a couple and I'm about to read them all. This first one says, take breaks. Accept that you won't see every artist you want. Resting is key to lasting all day. Resting is also key to lasting all 4 days. If you're doing 4 days, you cannot do them all. Be comfortable chilling out a lot of the time. I will literally miss whole music artists because I'm gonna go get that fried chicken sandwich from Fry the Coop. That's my favorite festival food there, by the way. And sit my ass down on the grass and enjoy that and chill out for an entire like hour and a half before going to the next one because it is so exhausting. Take public transit, infinitely cheaper than Uber, and it'll be packed and safe at night leaving. This is so true. Take public transit or walk. The rickshaws are super expensive, but there's something honestly pretty fun about when Lollapalooza gets out and you all walk down Michigan Ave and the entire street is blocked off and there's like the drummers out and like people are selling t-shirts and everyone's still in their festival gear and you're walking through the city at night with just this like massive crowd. Getting on the train to go home is super easy. If you are somewhere that's walking distance, that's like ideal too because there's just so many people out. Do not drive. 0 out of 10 recommend. Like just don't even think about it. And yeah, Ubers would be insane. It's gonna be so expensive. So highly recommend walking or taking public transit if you can. I'm going to get into where to stay in a second. Hydrate consistently even if you don't feel thirsty, and sunscreen is a must. You know your girl wears 50 plus every single day. Wear your sunscreen. Be aware of your surroundings. Crowds can become dangerous quickly from congestion. This is true too. Like I said, I'm one of those people, I like to be in the back, but it is just so many people. Be super aware of your surroundings at all times. I've honestly never heard of too many people getting things stolen from them within Lollapalooza, but you're still in the big city. Like just be aware of your surroundings. This one made me laugh. This one says, don't bury a bottle. I've heard this as rumors. If anyone's done it, can you please comment down below because I'm so intrigued. But you hear rumors of people who bury alcohol bottles in the park before Lollapalooza so that way they don't have to buy drinks within the festival and they can just find their like hidden bottle of booze. Do people actually do this? Like, is that actually a thing or is this just a rumor? I need to know. And then we gotta throw this one in because it's just too hilarious and good. This one says, don't run. You might fall and scrape up your legs. My dear bestie, last year we went to Lollapalooza. She was so excited. The festival vibes were high. We got in there. We were late. We were running. Girlfriend ate shit on the sidewalk, like a full tumble, scraped blood. She was laughing, she was fine, but she had scars. So like, just don't run. Fast walk if you need to. There's just no need. You don't need to get anywhere that quickly. That was ridiculous. I did get messages from one of my friends who is a Lollapalooza regular, born and raised in the suburbs, and I'm just going to read it even though his voice to text had many typos. If you're coming to Lollapalooza from out of town, I feel like it's a must to rent a place that's within walking distance to the festival grounds. One of the coolest things is walking through the city back to your hotel post-festival when they close down the streets and there is still a high energy. See, I told you, I agree. And then he said, if you buy a wristband and it's at will call, definitely go the day before attending the festival to pick it up. You do not want to wait in line while your friends are going to see your favorite acts. And make sure that you get your merch the first day you attend, as the lines only get longer the following days and there are less things in stock. When it comes to places to stay, because this has been a question that I've been getting all the time, I do really recommend being somewhere that's walking distance, which is decently tough because there's not a ton. You will see a lot of hotels down in the area, like the Pendry and the Lowe's. The Moxie could be considered walking distance. Citizen M is supposed to be really cool, but it's really, really small rooms, but they're very vibey, and I think that would be a cool place to stay. But my biggest recommendation is they're gonna book up really fast, but I really recommend staying at Central. Central is a apartment complex that also does short-term and even single night stays in furnished apartments in the city. It is right off the park. I've stayed there myself and their units are absolutely beautiful, and they have like full kitchen, washing machine, like everything you could need. Their prices are also really decent. I don't know what they're gonna be like during Lollapalooza, but you can also get 10% off there using code Kyra. So I recommend checking that one out. It's walking distance, like it just kind of checks every single box of what I would be looking for a Lollapalooza apartment. And a lot of them have views that overlook the park. So that's super cool too. Their amenity spaces do as well. So even if your unit doesn't, you'd have an amenity space where you can go and overlook the festival, which I think would be awesome. But yeah, I think staying right downtown for Lollapalooza is really key. Every apartment that I've ever had has always been walking distance to it, so that's always been really, really nice. I think that that's something that does make a huge impact. If you can't, then pick something that's going to be off of the train lines. At the end of the night, it is just such a vibe to be able to be right here, and it's going to be so late and you're gonna be so tired, you're not going to want to have a crazy commute home. Tickets are on sale now. I already bought my 4-day. They have 2-day and 1-day passes out. Their tickets now are as cheap as they're going to be. They only get more expensive as they go along, and certain days and stuff do sell out. So hop on it. If you wanna go, grab your tickets. They usually usually resell pretty easily if you end up not being able to use them, just as a heads up. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you have any tips that you want to share that were not shared in this video, please comment them down below. I would love for other people to be able to learn from them too. As always, follow me on Instagram. I do different videos like this and I'm always looking for your guys' advice. So please follow me over there for some more content and hit that big red subscribe button if you haven't. I make videos all about Chicago and living and all the things that happen here. So follow along. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.
You've been on my mind lately, I tell you all the time.